The answer to that question is almost always because you lack purpose, right? Excuse my writing. Without purpose, you have no sense of direction. Without a sense of direction, you end up going everywhere, right? Now, when you end up going everywhere or in all directions, you ultimately end up going nowhere. And that's what you're experiencing right now, which is why you feel lost. So the answer to why do you feel so lost in life is you just lack purpose. So how do you find purpose? Because most people intrinsically understand that that's the root problem, but they go about trying to solve it the wrong way. Their solution is to try a whole bunch of different things and hope that one of them sticks, right? That's the typical solution. That's very inefficient. You end up wasting a whole bunch of time, and once again, you end up going in a lot of directions, but ultimately not landing anywhere. Now, if you don't know me, my name is Lionel, right? I'm not an influencer trying to get you to do anything. I'm just somebody that might be 1 or 2 steps ahead of you, and I'm just trying to disseminate some information that I believe might help you in your situation. Now, this content style is very new to me. Ultimately, I am trying to move away from having everything super scripted out and hiring some fancy editor, and just trying to be a little bit more natural. Like I'm literally in a wife beater and boxers right now. I am full boxers in my seat right now. That's how raw this is. I have no script. This might be a shitty video that I don't even post, but I feel like this is an important topic because I see so many people, young men, to be specific, that just are sad and they don't understand why they're sad, and then they associate that sadness with this deep feeling of just being lost, and they don't know that the solution is as easy as finding your purpose. Now, 2 real world examples of how important your purpose is by, of course, multimillionaires, because these are the people I pay attention to the most, because I ultimately have the goal of becoming one of them. If you are familiar with the game Minecraft, which you should be, if you're not, you're weird. I love Minecraft. The creator was not, who owns Minecraft now? I don't even know. It was this guy named Notch. Now, Notch was from Norway or something. Basically, he started Minecraft, built it up to like a multi-million, maybe billion-dollar company, and sold it to Microsoft. And he completely stepped away from Minecraft. What happened after Notch sold Minecraft? He started having a lot of parties, spending a lot of money, and he became extremely depressed. Why did he become extremely depressed? He was living the dream that everybody wants, right? He got all the money, sold it, living a life, parties, cars, girls, all of that. The reason why he became extremely depressed after the sale of Minecraft was because he lost his purpose. It's very important. Same thing happened to the creator of Loom. I don't know what his name is. Some nerd, of course. Same story. Built up his company, sold it. I don't think he went crazy on the parties, but there are articles out there that say that after he sold it, he became extremely depressed. And it's the same thing. Lost his purpose. So your purpose needs to be something that you not only find, but cultivate and protect. And that last word, protecting your purpose, is very important, because there are things in this world, things in society, things in your environment that make you want to relinquish your purpose. And that is one of the worst things you can ever do. But we'll get to that later. Let's start off with how to find your purpose to begin with. It all starts with you, which is the big, scary monster that nobody wants to face. Nobody wants to look at the man or woman in the mirror. Not gonna lie, It's because this motherfucker chopped. But on some real stuff, a lot of people like to find their answers externally. That's why you're watching a YouTube video, right? Because you want to find your answers externally. You want to do everything externally. But 9 times out of 10, and I say 9 times out of 10 because there are situations where this doesn't apply. 9 times out of 10, the answer you are looking for is held within you already. There's just, and I'm gonna put a dollar sign here because I'm motivated by money. So dollar sign equals the answer you're looking for. There's just so much BS in your life, whether it's trauma or certain situations or false beliefs or indoctrinations that you've been in, that create these barriers and create resistance, right? So it makes it very hard for the average person to dig in and find what's within. So to find your purpose, you have to start here. You have to sit down and ask yourself, what are some of your core beliefs? Right? Start with beliefs because beliefs dictate thoughts. Thoughts dictate emotions. Emotions and thoughts combined with the amplifier of your beliefs creates actions. Actions turn into habits. And you have habitually been in a state of being to where you're going around in circles and circles and circles and circles, and you're ultimately not getting anywhere. And it all starts with the big B, your beliefs. Ultimately, I don't know you personally. I wish I did. I wish I knew everybody personally. I feel like humans are very interesting and lovely people when you get to know them. So I can't extract your beliefs for you. But you need to have you have to sit down and ask yourself, what are your beliefs? What are some of your core beliefs? Right? I'll use myself for example. I have a core belief that intrinsically, money, although not something that should be worshipped, it is something that should be sought after because it's an amplifier for other things in life. For example, if you are a generous person, you can be far more generous with a lot more money. If you're somebody that cares about providing and protecting their family, you can do that at a higher level with more money. If you are an evil person and you think about doing some nasty stuff to the world, you can do even nastier things with money. A core belief of mine is the amplification, the amplifying power of money. That's why I ultimately pursue it, not because I worship it, because I understand that it will amplify a lot of things in my life, right? That's a core belief of mine. You need to find what your core beliefs are, but you don't stop there. What you do is you evaluate if that was a core belief that you came to the conclusion of because of your own thoughts and experiences, or if it was something that was implemented within you by society, your environment, or any type of other person. What you will find is that a lot of the core beliefs that you hold are not your own beliefs. They are, oh nigga, you fucking up my video, bitch ass nigga. fucking fly. I don't know if y'all saw it on camera. Fucking fly, fucking up my video. Rude ass nigga. A lot of your core beliefs are not even your beliefs. These are beliefs that you came to associate with yourself through whoever is around you, or society forces you to believe them, or whatever exterior source, right? And the problem with that is, once again, where did I have this diagram? Beliefs influence thoughts, which influence emotions. Emotions and thoughts combined with the amplification power of your beliefs control your actions, which influence your habits. So if you have a whole bunch of core beliefs that are not even yours, your actions and habits aren't yours either, and you're following the way of other people. That's why everything that you're doing is leading you in the wrong direction, because you are not following your own direction. You're following the direction of other people. This is the core problem. And step one is figuring out, literally write down your core beliefs. Literally write them down. Write down your core beliefs and ask yourself, is this something I came to believe in by my own, or is this something that was instilled with me by others? Step one. After you figure out where the source of that belief comes from, you have to do even more critical thinking, which is also very hard for some people. You do even more critical thinking and you ask yourself, is this core belief a net positive or a net negative in my life? Ultimately, I believe in the freedom of other people to create their own decisions. And that's all. This is all. You realize that this is the core message of the video. I'm trying to give you the freedom to come to your own conclusions, because the root problem of why you don't have a purpose or why you feel so lost is because you're going by the conclusions of other people, which leads you in the wrong direction. But you yourself have to evaluate if it's a net positive or a net negative in your life. Everything that is a net negative, you cut it out. You delete it. You delete it. You don't fucking need it, because it's ultimately bad for your life. And then what you would be left with are net positive core beliefs. Oh my God, bro. I need me a fucking iPad or something, bro. This is right when my fucking mouse is low-key sped. You're left with net positive core beliefs. Now, with these net positive core beliefs, right, that you came to the conclusion with by yourself, not something that was instilled within you, what you need to do is you need to guard these with your fucking life. Because as you grow older and as you expand and as you go throughout life, you will realize that most of the core beliefs that are net positives for you, society and all these other things are going to try to take it away from you. And you need to guard them with your life. Once you start guarding them, you will realize that these things will naturally start to influence your thoughts, which will then influence your emotions. Then your new thoughts and your new emotions are going to combine or be amplified by your new beliefs. So now you will start taking new actions. These new actions, because they're based off of net positive core beliefs that you came to the conclusion with on your own, will start leading you in the right direction. And you will stop going in circles your whole entire life. and you will be naturally drawn to one thing. Or maybe it's not one thing. You might be naturally drawn to a couple of things, but you have a natural affinity to something. Once you have that natural affinity to that one thing or a couple of things in the general direction, you pursue that until your last dying breath. And I say that, and I choose those words very carefully because, once again, you will, as you start pursuing that, there will be people, situations, society, whatever the fuck, that will try to move you from your natural inclination and onto other things. Some of them will be right. Remember, this is how to find your purpose. This is not how to make money. This is not how to have a rich life. This is just how to find your purpose. Right? Because sometimes, I'll be honest, your natural inclination might be for some stupid shit. You might want to fucking sit around and knit all day. That might be your natural inclination. That might be and that's okay. This is not a video about making money. You will never make millions of dollars knitting. But at least you know what your natural inclination is. Because once you pursue your natural inclination, it feeds your soul and it stops this cycle from happening. You never, ever want to stop pursuing your natural inclination. It might not be the main thing that makes you money or the main thing that blah, 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 blah. But it's the main thing that feeds your fucking soul. And that's far more important than that's far more important than money. Luckily for me, my natural inclination is making videos and making a fuck ton of money. I love that shit. It's like cocaine to me. You couldn't force me to stop making videos. Just like you couldn't force a crackhead to stop smoking cocaine. We are one and the same. So get to your natural inclination and pursue it and guard it with your fucking life. Because, and once again, I say that very specifically because there are going to be things that are going to try to force you to stop pursuing it. And you want to tell them to fuck off. And then this will solve your problem of lack of purpose. And I cannot be even more clear about this once again. This video is about finding purpose, not making money. In no way, shape, or form am I saying that if your natural inclination is just jumping rope, that's going to be the best financial decision for you. It's not. It's not. You're going to be a fucking broke bum if you think that. But that's what feeds your soul, and you should never relinquish that. You should never relinquish that. If you want to fucking skip rope all day, then do it, bro. Just make sure you get into the bag too, nigga. But in all seriousness, that's my framework for solving that. The feeling of being lost is just boiling it down to eliminating all net positive beliefs or eliminating all net negative beliefs, whether it's from you or from others, right? Only accepting net positive beliefs that are from yourselves or you have came to the conclusion with by yourself. And I have to put a pause here. That doesn't mean you don't listen to other people. Jesus Christ, I just thought about that because I know some bozo in the comments going to say, oh, Lionel's telling us not to listen to people. I'm not saying that, right? These are beliefs that you've come to the conclusion with by yourself. So somebody might try to instill a belief onto you, right? It is your job to analyze it. You have to analyze it. Is this a net positive? Is this net negative? Why does this person believe this specific things? Is this belief going to actually help me out in life? If yes, test it out first. Test out that belief, stretch it out to its furthest extremes, and then if it works out, then you can add it to the core belief system that you've came up with by yourself because you validated it. Right, so I have to put that disclaimer in. So you just Find that positive beliefs, let that influence your actions, and that will influence your habits, which will stop this little circle. You find your general purpose in life, and then you pursue that and guard that forever. Like I said earlier, this new type of content with me, I'm still ironing out all the kinks and stuff like that. I'm putting in a large effort to just talk to you guys, just like not be so robotic, not use algorithm, not try to make everything algorithmically like perfect. It's just no script, no nothing, just fresh off the brain. So if you like this type of content, follow, leave a like. If you think I'm a dumbass, comment. I'll probably reply to you.